I am the Black Renegade Rising. I am simply a maven looking for my haven on continent. Now, on a serious note, today's episode we are going to talk about the peril toward black bodies, in particularly black children, and more specifically black girls. Black bodies are constantly under attack from threats both foreign and domestic. Anti-blackness is global and appears to have no end. And why going abroad to the continent and literally any place else is a benefit, a step up, going in the right direction for you, your family, your children, their future, your future. Black girls are not only suspended at a higher rate than other groups, they're twice as likely to be suspended from school than black boys. Now let that sink in for a moment. We focus a lot on black male children and how they're treated by the system, the prison pipeline, but we rarely talk about its impact and influence on young ladies, young girls. And the impact is also real. Black girls are also 7 times as likely to be suspended from school as their white girl counterparts. And before anyone makes the obvious straw man argument, well, they're getting into more trouble, they're feistier, they're this and that. No. They, black girls, are being suspended, they're being aggressively policed and disciplined for doing the exact same things and actions as their counterparts, meaning just what I said. They are simply being children, or preteens, or tweens, or teenagers. Regardless of where black children are, they are at a disadvantage. Black children, preschoolers, black girl preschoolers here in America, on average, make up 20% of the total percentage of preschoolers in any preschool organization in America, but are suspended at a rate of 54%. And what that means is 54% of all the suspensions of preschoolers in schools that report data to the government are black girls being suspended, even though they only make up 20% of that total preschool population. Now let that sink in. They haven't even gone to actual public school and they're already being policed, suspended, and dealt with harshly and unjustly. And it is a form of adultification. And what that means is simply that little girls and little boys under the age of 18 are being treated as adults. We know this happens, unfortunately, with black children, usually by the age of 10. But let that sink in, that your 3-year-old, your 4-year-old can be seen as being much older and being dealt with harshly in daycare. They haven't even had a chance to make it to a school setting, an official school setting, before they're being dealt with harshly. Black girls are also criminalized, like I mentioned before. But also let's look at the victimization, unfortunately, of black girls. Black girls have a 1 out of 4 black girls before the age of 18 are sexually abused. Unfortunately, black girls are also less likely to be believed to be victims of sexual assault, neglect, familial abuse, and related traumas that can happen. And as a result, black girls are also less likely to get the help, the resources they need to be able to deal with the childhood traumas that have been placed upon them. So if you can't heal, what are you supposed to do? And we're not even talking about kids who are actually lashing out. This is just how black girls are being treated over and over. And all of this is believed to be the following. It's called biased perception by teachers and administrators. Let me say that again. The reason black girls are being dealt with so harshly is because of the biased perception of teachers and administrators. AKA just another code word for racism. Let's just call it what it is. 57% of juveniles that are brought in for working in a sex trade as AKA prostitutes are black girls. And I have a problem with calling children 18 and under or under 18 prostitutes. That is in itself the same thing as fake news. It can't exist. They cannot have agency over their bodies the way they should, nor are they allowed to, and they are actually more likely to be sentenced. They are unfortunately underage sex trade workers who are usually there not by choice. And whenever they do run into law enforcement, they are not believed to be underaged, first of all, or under 18, and they're often believed to be more delinquent, more sexualized or hypersexualized, and less trustworthy than their white girl counterparts. Black girls are also charged more than any other group, more than black boys, more than white boys, more than white girls with non-violent offenses. Again, let that sink in. So truancies, curfew infractions, court orders, running away from home, running away from your abuser, running away from your John, are all considered no-nos, and the court as well as schools tend to penalize black girls for doing so. This episode was simply prompted by the constant media flood of black children being victimized and murdered over and over again to no avail. Recently there was a 9-year-old girl in Rochester, New York, who was pepper sprayed or maced by a police officer when her mother called the police because she, the 9-year-old, was experiencing a mental health crisis. At one point, the 9-year-old told the police officer that, "I am a child." And that is in response to the police officer who had lost his cool and told the 9-year-old that she, or rather you, are acting like a child. The Chief of Patrol Officers Union responded to this whole incident of the 9-year-old being pepper sprayed as stating the outcome could have been worse. Let that sink in for a moment. It could have been worse. But damn, it also could have been better. So again, here we are not treating children as children, in particular black girls. And then black girls are also seen as less feminine and more aggressive, which also turns into those same tropes that are made by, unfortunately, the black community as well as other communities that state that black women are not feminine enough, are not dainty enough, are not ladylike enough. Well, we have a lot on our plates, I just want to go ahead and state. But again, I just want to point out some facts about black girls that's often overlooked. That whole trope and archetype of the black strong woman starts with black girls. It doesn't wait until you become 18 and become a woman before people start spouting out that you are strong, you should be able to deal with this, that, and everybody else's damn problems than your own, or actually you shouldn't have no problems because you need to have time for everybody else's shit. But again, that's just another problem. So my solution and suggestion to all of those of you watching, all 5 of you, thank you for watching again, is to make your exit plan and get you and your children or your family out of Dodge. Get on up out of here because things are not changing. And instead of allowing your children to be scarred and allowing more scarring of your own and the mental stress, let alone the physical stress and the emotional stress and the trauma it takes on, that it places on you and your family, and just get on up out of here. Asia is a good place to go. Japan's a great place, especially if you're looking for some place that has a high earning index, so that you can have that same comparable lifestyle. There are other places like Singapore and so on that also have pretty high standards of living. But again, Latin America is a place that some people are running, even though Latin America has their own issues with the black diaspora and their own blacks. By having that American passport, you will usually be treated a bit better. There are places in Europe that you can run to as well, where you will still get treated better because, again, you've got the American passport. And that, again, does bring some privileges outside of the country, but not within the country. Because, again, we are not even second-class citizens. We are somewhere below the third-class citizen level, and we just keep dropping. But that's okay. It is what it is. And, again, I just want to state that this is really about just helping others understand that you do have places, you do have options. This is not it. There is no reason to allow your kids to suffer when you can just get on a plane and go. Just go. Don't worry, my family, we are in the process of planning our escape out of this as well. So don't worry, I'm not planning on staying here, and I'm not giving you advice and telling you what to do or suggesting you do something that I'm not even willing to do myself. But again, that's it for now. I don't want to ramble anymore. The next segment will probably be on black boys or on black women or black men, the black family. Again, I just want to make sure we all understand and are on the same level when it comes down to how our children are being treated, how we're being treated, and how we don't really stand a chance in this world where we've been here for 400 plus years. We haven't made the headlines, we haven't made the inroads that we should have, because everyone has been policing us, even people who were abroad who hadn't even become American citizens. But anyway, that's a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But again, like I said, anti-blackness is worldwide. You don't have to worry about that. You can find that any and everywhere, even on the continent, and we'll talk about that another day. But again, I am the Black Renegade Rising. I am simply a maven looking for my haven on the continent. Thank you again for joining me, and do stay tuned.